Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Razor Karu. Those of you who may have heard of me, I will be surprised. This is my first video. This is the first thing I am doing. This is me essentially getting into the game of YouTube. Yeah. Anyways, this here is Rimworld. It's a fun game. I've enjoyed it. It's essentially, you can either be, what is it? A small crew, a small handful of survivors trying to survive amongst the world. A tribe of people that have been moved by technology, so to speak. Or you can just be a singular rich dude that just wants to come out here because he can do everything, apparently, I guess. I don't know. That's not an option I've done yet. It's probably something that we can do, but not in this one. So let's get started. Indeed. New game. Do crash landed. This is usually the one I like to do. It presents an interesting situation. This here is the storyteller, which essentially determines what kind of events you'll end up having. You'll either have the standard escalating story, the chill storyteller, or the completely random. As you can probably tell by the name of Randy Random. I generally just stick with classic. I don't really see the need of just being spoon-fed everything, and then I also don't necessarily want to just be hit with something that I cannot necessarily handle. This game will punish you if you don't set up properly. But generally speaking, when I play this, I usually only play on base builder, but because I just like building. That's what I do. I build. Some of the other games you'll probably end up seeing me play is something from the Anno series, likely 2205. That's the one I've been playing and enjoying. Or City Skylines. But that's not what we're here to play. We're here to play Rimworld. So let's go with rough, because I've been playing the game off and on for the last couple of weeks, and I've been figuring out the system, so to speak. So now that I've got that figured out, I'm ready to see if I can actually take it on the way it should be. I like the biggest world. Yes, good. There is one that I like using, which is Origin. Provides me with an interesting world. And now, when I actually looked at this game a couple years ago, it wasn't like this. And like, it didn't have the map or anything. You were just put on a map. There you are, on a map. Here, you actually get to sort of decide your fate. You got things like your growing period, which is important when you're growing crops, the kind of ground materials, the kind of stone types you have for when you actually start building structures in stone. The kind of terrain, which I've found that mountainous terrain is quite possibly the best terrain to have. For me, I have gotten used to it. Tropical rain for the biome types, the amount of rainfall they get each year, which actually does take it, weather's important. Average temperatures in the summer and the winter, and the how high up you are, which I think affects something. I'm not entirely sure. Knowing this group, I haven't actually looked into the numbers of it. It's likely, it's likely something to do with oxygen levels. Oh hey, I didn't notice on one little island out there. But yeah, generally speaking, you want to have at least hills. Otherwise, you're not going to have any stone to build with. with this one? Yeah, let's go with this one. Now, let's see. That one's a decent one. Yeah, this is the stuff I'm looking at right here, which is the skills. I don't necessarily can take a look at traits unless there's a pretty big one, like Psychopath. I mean, Psychopath and something like this is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also one of those things that unless you have other things to occupy his time to make him a happy person, generally a bad idea to have that kind of character, as I've found. But he knows what he's doing, apparently. And knowing what they start off with, I like to have at least a certain set of certain skills. Like, I need somebody who knows how to shoot. I need somebody who's good at melee, because I start off with a rifle, a pistol, and a knife. Need somebody who knows how to grow food, somebody who knows how to build things. Not necessarily as important as growing food, as growing crops. And I also need to make sure that, you know, I have certain things of these that are not up there, like firefighting. Firefighting's important. Trust me, firefighting's important. So for this, probably gonna end up randomizing all of these people. No, like this. This guy is incapable of doing a damn thing. Like, all he's good for is building, growing, and not even research. So this guy is not necessarily somebody I would really want to have. Then we will take a look at this person that we just rolled. Daughter, apparently, which actually helps with the mood of people. Really good at social, good at construction, damn. Not good at cooking. Something like this I will take. Yeah, I'll take this one. And then I'll probably take this guy, because he's good at growing, he's decent at cooking, he can build, he can mine. I'm sorry. Ugly masochist, abrasive. And there's plenty of tidbits in here that are mostly that can be for backstory, but they're also good for skills, like colony settler. Bonuses to construction, growing, and mining, which, you know, it's going to be important in setting this up. And then, what do we got? Oh, hello. This guy is also one of those I will keep, so I gotta make sure I have somebody who can actually do the research, which is this one here, Olive. And then this dude, which will be quite possibly my combat monster, who's a misogynist. Oops. Really dislikes and distrusts women. Okay, so not necessarily a misogynist, he just prefers not to be there. Yeah. Abductee into spy. Interesting. But I don't know. This group of misfits will probably end up being the group I go with, which is yes. So let's start this off, see what happens. As it generates the map. 3 of you awaken cryosleep. The 3 of you awaken your cryosleep sarcophagi into the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get the chance to You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Alright. Automatically... Oh. Oh, elephants. That's both a good and bad thing. Let's see. I need a refresher. You're probably gonna get the melee. Yeah, ranged weapons are important. I have found that staying out of melee is best in everyone's best interest. Less injuries you have to worry about, the better. So go ahead and unclaim all this stuff. And then claim these old runes, which are just scattered all over the place. And then I will actually tear those apart. The fact is that everybody knows how to construct. It's not a big deal. And this I like this. This means I can practically dig into the mountainside here, cut all this off, and then I have myself a safe place to be. I'm gonna have to find a place for solar panels, admittedly, but not a big deal. First things first, though, is to carve out a section. One of the other games I'll probably end up playing is Dwarf Fortress. Then again, I don't know if that's going to be an interesting thing for people to watch. I know I have a lot of fun playing it, but that doesn't mean anybody else will have fun watching me play it. Nah, I'm a builder, not necessarily somebody who watches. I'm not entirely sure what people will actually like watching. So, as is... we want to go ahead and make a wooden building. We're going to make it a large building. What is... oh, that's a swampy area. Ah, crap. Oh, there goes that idea. So where will I build? Let's go ahead and build over here. And people are probably asking why I'm just going to go ahead and tear that down. It's because it doesn't fit into my plan. I'm very stingy when it comes to actually designing and building things. And then we're going to board around. Just get rid of all the freaking... oh! I have a warg. Huh. Oops. Let's go ahead and get this designed properly then. This corner. Make this a 10 by 10 structure. 10 by 10 interior. Well, that dude is hunting. So, like to get everything zoned and ready. Just so I know I don't have to really worry all that much, but I also like to plan to have certain things like paths and all, and zone and storage zones. Just want to make sure that people can take care of themselves. Oops. areas are growing zones, obviously for crops, but also for all the different kinds of crops. I can even have a tree farm to make sure you constantly have a supply of wood to build things. Aha. Me, potatoes, rice, and then corn. And then this last one up here is going to have heel root, which is going to be important. Requires somebody to be at a specific grower's level before they can actually grow it. Not a big deal at the current moment. Somebody is, you know, obviously they're going to grow in skill, so that also means that they're going to end up. Nah, it does require steel. It just means they're also going to grow in, you know, ability. At least one would think. Make sure they get that structure done first, actually. Because that's all important. These aren't actual beds, they're just something to put a bed in. Right, basically designating sleeping spots on the floor. And since we have pretty much the start of this going already, go ahead and speed up time here. Let's just watch them build. Going to do this properly. It's probably better. I'm gonna do this. Oop. Blocks that off. That way, pathing may just automatically come up this way. At which point, I could just have a choke. And yeah, there they go, throwing up the wood, throwing up the roof. And then they sleep at night. Go figure. Nobody's a night person. Thing is these elephants are going to be a problem. If I put out a hunt order on them, it could get really ugly really quickly. Just keep it going. Have the stockpile. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Stockpile. Alright. This is definitely one of those games where I take my time in building up. And we've sort of learned how things escalate, so. Anybody assigned to mining? Yeah, 2 people are assigned to mining. Miners are mining. Oh, because we're talking. Then we need food production. Food production. And make this at least a rather decent place to be. Pretty much going to be simple meals. Make sure I have at all times a stock. I'm guessing I don't have enough wood. Nope. And yeah. The game always starts off like this because I only have 1, 2, 3 people. But, you know, things get better. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Play horseshoes. This makes people happy. Makes them think about other things other than the absolutely ridiculous situation that they're currently in. Right. Now we have food being made. For the most part. Carving out this section up here because this is where I'm going to start putting in structures. And oh, I have a visitor. Bodyguard from Cowboys Forest is visiting the colony. Leopold Leo Silver has a few items to trade. And he's all the way out there. He thinks that there's a way up in there, not that way. No, he's going to come up this way. Ah. Animals. And he's trained, so let's check. Oh wait, no, he's not trained. Oops. One thing at a time. And hey, look at that! A few potato plants have already been planted, as well as a few rice plants. Still not the entire field because everybody's busy doing everything else. Let us make this dude. I really want medicine. What do you got? You want to take my rations. Or survival meals. You got a couple of other stuff. Charge rifle. Oh. Unfortunately, I can't afford that. I can't afford anything because my silver's not in my freaking place. Ah well. I do want to get a place set up quickly because I know that one of the first raids is coming. Like, go figure, a place like this is going to have raiders and bandits. Ah, he's leaving. They're going to have people who want to take the things that you have. And I'm going to say no, and they're going to come and take it anyways, or at least try to. So, that's why I have these sandbags out here, because like I said, there's going to be a choke point. Oh! I now need hand grenades. Since it looks like you'll be here for a while, Jade thinks you should give this community a name. What should it be called? Instead of Antioch, because I don't have hand grenades, let's call it Ultim. Community is now known as Ultim. What are we at? Nah, whatever. I should probably keep a timer with me. Because I have lost track of how long I have been playing this, and how long I've been recording, which is the important part. It's nice to be comfortable. Now, that's pretty much it. Oh, mad animal. Local tortoise has gone mad. It will attack everyone it sees. And it's down there. Now, watch this. It's over there. There's nobody around it. It's gonna start making its way slowly straight to my people. So what's gonna happen is I'm going to conscript one dude, bring him down here to deal with a single mad tortoise. Yep, and it's dead. And then we melee the tortoise to death, because if I leave it alone, it's just going to get better. That's what I expect from a tortoise. And, oh, look at that, straight to the butcher. Ah, yes, furniture. One of the things I usually do is I don't actually set up, I don't have a large structure, I have set up rooms first. I actually don't bother with something like this where I could have, say, a large table with chairs in it. Andrew has decided that my ward needs is going to be with food. Well, at least I still have a pet. What other things and do I need to do here? I mean, it always takes a while to start, and you never know if the AI for the characters is going to be smart enough to actually figure out their problems. Like, they only fulfill orders that are put out. They don't ever actually just, you can order them to an extent. Everything else you just have to set up and let them figure it out on their own, which is a lot like Dwarf Fortress. Which is why I like this game. I loved Dwarf Fortress. It was so much fun. Like, if I got back into it, I'd have to spend a day just getting used to the interface and the UI again. Oh, and then you have... Area reveal, jump to location. Oh! Yeah, something. Okay. So yeah, what happened there is I had one random dude just flat out join me. What do you have? I have these social monsters just joining me left and right. Goddamn. Oh, they're an actor. That's why. Okay. Ah, see? Now they started cooking it again. And this is a wood-burning stove, and they had taken them 2 days. 2 days to put wood in it to cook with. And now they're actually, you know, cooking with it. Alright. Since I actually still have limestone structures, since I actually still have those limestone blocks, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Actually, okay. Deconstruct limestone walls. And one of the great things that I thought that they did was this. This is awesome. Just put up a roof. Because then you have yourself covered storage, which covered storage is awesome. Expand the stockpile zones. There. Yeah, this is one of these kinds of games I really enjoy building. Yay, I have my warg back. And they're still training him. Must not have the right food. Yeah, those elephants are going to be a problem. Now then, as I was trying to do earlier, get ourselves the table. Oh. Alright, this is a group of pirates, the victors. This will periodically happen. People will show up, they want your stuff, so they're gonna come and try and take it. Generally speaking, you fight them off. It's just one dude though, so what does he got on him? Oh, club. Some pirates. But no, they're going, as the message said, sometimes, like, they'll generally say what they're going to be doing. Half the time, they're going to sit and prepare for an attack. Other times, they're going to attack outright. And then, oh, there he goes. This is where I get everybody up. This dude comes in for the assault. Oh, Jesus. I may lose a dude. That is an entire group of elephants that is now coming to stomp on my fucking dude. Oh, Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rimworld. Sometimes this happens. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna live. They might live. But generally speaking, this is why I don't like elephants. Elephants will screw with your group. I would go back and save, but a thing that I promised myself that unless it's something entirely infuriating, then... That's a shame, too. I was going to show how to do a whole bunch of stuff. In shock, in shock, in shock. Yeah, no, I think this colony's gonna die. All because somebody wanted to get in the middle of a couple of elephants. Incapacitated on the ground. Yep, no, they're going to starve to death. I've been Razor Karu, and this has been Rimworld. Oh, and there goes the infections. They're gonna die. Terribly sorry. But it looks like Jerbear and company are going to pass. I have been Razor Karu, signing out.